We'll drive anywhere and go any place to find snook and tarpon.
Well, I'm happy to say I'm back in South Florida finally to do some saltwater fishing and some peacock bass fishing. But the first place that I wanted to start was I had to renew my old friendship with Captain Mark. So sit back and enjoy the fishing. If you're going to be digging through the mangroves, here's a suggestion for you. Leave your jacket on so you can keep the bugs and spiders off of your body. Let me try to put things into context for you on what we're trying to accomplish. You know, Mark's putting us right in the mangroves through these channels that open up into bays and small rivers. And then we're searching for the tarpon and the snook along the way. And we're just hoping to connect on some big fish.
Nice and easy. Alright, nice and easy. Nice, that's enough line. That is a beast. Get that around your wrist. Okay, put the rod down and support his belly. That's it. Okay, lower him some. Just get your head in there. Let me get you a picture. Well done, Bob.
Thank you.
Now in this next scene, you always hear me talking about the relationship between saltwater and freshwater. Look, these are small creeks. Just like on the river, the fish are setting up on the seams and the calm eddies.
Alright, give me a nice bite. Thanks, Mark. Sure. Let you release him. Cool, man.
Cool deal.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Now this morning, Mark broke out his handmade flat-bottom boat that he uses to sneak around this enclosed saltwater lake. And even though we were faced with some cold front conditions, I asked Mark to make a special effort to see if he could get me on some tarpon with a fly rod. As Mark pulled me around the lake, we noticed a particular area where the tarpon activity was present. So Mark lined me up so I could get some casts in, but unfortunately, the wildlife had other plans, as you'll see in this upcoming clip. Eventually, these birds, and there literally had to be 200, 250,000, made their way to us and the tarpon. Like all good guides, we had to go to plan B. So we ended up returning back to the camp where Mark picked up his Hell's Bay boat and we checked the tides and we went out in the Florida Bay for some redfish.
Getting ready to go out and fish Florida Bay. There's a couple manatees. Beautiful facility, by the way. He ate it so soft.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Very light take, man. I didn't even know he was there.
Yeah, head back up front so I can get you on film. It came out, he just saw him rush the bait.
Beautiful fish.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's going to be on it.
He's hooked good.
Is he?
Yeah.
Leading.
Look who wanted it.
Yeah, just in time.
Well, he started bleeding.
Oh, that's it.
And you can smell blood. Let me just dip the blood.
Oh, I don't mean.
Yeah, right there. That's good.
Son?
Try to the right of the big tree in the open water. See if the current can help you sweep it in there. Yeah.
Cool. Come on, did you try this one? Now, while I'm attempting to land this big snook, let's utilize this time. So you're thinking, what does the Florida Everglades have to do with the Kankakee River? Well, it's been estimated that the Department of Tourism in the state of Florida grossed over $70 billion of revenue last year. That's billion with a B. Most of the migratory birds in Florida once migrated to the Kankakee Grand Marsh in Illinois and Indiana, along with many other species of wildlife. Well, what once was could still be. We already know that the Army Corps changed the natural course of the Kankakee River, destroying one of the largest marshlands on the continent. Now, I can think back now for at least 25 years on the great debate. Should we change the Kankakee River back to its original course and flow? The time for talk is over. What we can agree on is we can't continue on this course without creating losses of one of the best smallmouth fisheries on the Illinois side, not to mention the millions in financial losses because the river is filling in and will without a doubt cause cities to flood. In part, we have to buy back at least some of the farmland and return the river back to its natural course. Relocate the farmers who fed this nation for nearly a decade with new farmland, no matter what it costs. If we continue this debate, it will cost 10 times as much down the road. A problem that's never going to get better. The science proves that. Politicians need to allocate the funds so we can get started. Look at the big picture. The past is the past. We need to look in one direction, the future. With the return of the Grand Marsh, tourism will now generate huge revenues for states by simply allowing nature to take its course. Why are governing bodies always looking to generate revenues by destroying our natural resources? The Everglades is one example of these fragile environments that have been vanishing, yet why can't we embrace them instead of destroying them? Because mankind has done such a wonderful job of killing off these resources. Tourists today will come to experience them because there's not many left. It's time mankind redeems ourselves and respects the earth and what the good Lord provided.
Nice.
He's... like that. Stay there. Stay there. Push it out like I had.
You're on the dark side.
Alright, I'm gonna... Your thing's rolling. Oh, it is? Yeah, it should be getting there.
So now I encourage you to take a little time under this viewing window, click on show more and read more about my trip, but more importantly, the relationship between the Everglades of South Florida and the Everglades of the North on the Kankakee River. Now when you come down to South Florida, there's just so much to see and do, especially if you're an angler. This is all about taking in the wildlife and the beautiful ocean and all the remote places you can go. I can't help feeling like an explorer each and every time I come down to the Everglades. 1.2 million acres where you can get lost, which is one reason why I go there in the first place. And if you have the time, I'd recommend drive down to the Keys and take a helicopter ride when the sun is shining. You gotta do it when the sun's shining. What a perspective. Again, the wildlife is spectacular from the air. And if you like to dive like me, there's some great spots in the Keys where you can really see some awesome marine life. And if you like more information about the local guides in South Florida, the numbers are listed right here. My final recommendation is if you're in South Florida, you have to take a drive up to Lake Worth, Florida, and visit one of the finest restaurants in the entire state of Florida, Rustico Italiano. Come see my friend Chef Nino. I was there with the Sicilian Commission, and we had one of the best meals of our lives. See the link below to find out more about this great restaurant. This is Captain Bob, Kankakee River Valley Guide Service. Have a great day.
Love that sound.